The time has come for the people of God to speak to the people of God. This is God's holy word, and this is our real Pastor Talk edition. As I return on tonight, this is part two of All Governments Are Fake Ponzi Schemes, and this is part two. Part one, I was discussing about how we are sick and how we are misled as a society. So I encourage you to go back and take a look at part one. But as we delve into part two, I want us to again think about what has brought us to this moment. For you see, all of the illegal things that we have watched our government do in the past 6 months, or if we truly look back, let's take the past 20 years. If we look back and watch all of the illegal things we have watched our government do in the past 20 years, we can clearly see from then until now that we are a sick society, that we are a misled society, that we have been lied to as a people. We have been separated and segregated from each other to disunify this nation. And as a result, we have went from being the leaders of the nation, the people with the power, to essentially being the sheep who are being led by the rich. That's basically the only way that you can describe it. Because anytime the minority is ruling over the majority, that is the true sign of imbalance. So let us discuss America, who we are, where we are today. America is the country that will support one side. They will support one country wholeheartedly. And while they support that country, they will still sell arms and guns to the other side. This is a fake government. You tell us that we are at war, but you call Iran and tell Iran that you're going to bomb their nuclear site so they move all the nukes. And then Iran calls you and tells you that they're going to bomb your base so you get all the people out of the base so no one is hurt. What kind of war is that? And yet we are told and led to believe that that is war. You are led to believe that that is an actual conflict, just like you are led to believe that at some point in time, some way, America is going to dig itself out of $32 trillion in debt as opposed to going farther in debt. You see, this is how we have been brainwashed as Americans. And America has indeed brainwashed the entire world. Let me show you an example. America has bases worldwide. What country has bases in America? And to all of you countries out there who allow America to have a base in your country, that just shows your weakness. That just shows that you are soft. SOF capital TTT shows that you're soft because anytime someone has a base within your country, you're a hostage. You are a hostage, and at any point in time, they can turn the guns upon you. We are being misled as a people. Ukraine, 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 Ukraine. You know, I used to watch the Midas Touch guys. I have, they do good material. Some of their stuff I have an issue with. The Ukraine, 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 support Ukraine. That's a bunch of crap. Because if we were to truly examine the situation and scenario in Ukraine, Ukraine was set up to fail from the beginning and it was America's doing. These are just facts. Okay, let us contemplate what actually happened with Ukraine. When Donald Trump was president, he took the Ukrainian army from 300,000 to over a million, grew that army by working with training and helping Zelensky. He grew that army from 300,000 to a million soldiers. And the whole time he was growing that army, Putin is sitting there telling him, hey, that's a threat at my doorstep. Hey, can't have those people right there beside me. And The world is upset with Putin for attacking Ukraine. But yet, I say to America and to the West, which one of the countries in the West, in Europe, or America, is going to allow China to roll up to one of their neighboring countries, make their army 3 times the size that it is, and start doing exercises with them? America would never allow that. They would declare war the first time that happened. And yet America puts its bases up in everybody's country and nobody declares war. Everybody is running around talking about Ukraine, 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 when in fact Ukraine is being attacked by Russia, but Ukraine is the dirtiest dealer in the game because they are known, known, known to be the trainers, the sponsors. They buy weapons for insurgents that go and destroy and destabilize Africa. And everybody's screaming, help Ukraine, Ukraine, Ukraine. And Ukraine is a huge sponsor of terrorism on the African country. Help Ukraine. Midas Touch, I'm sorry. You should help Ukraine by putting Zelensky in prison because he's a criminal. Just as all of these governments are criminals, being ran by criminals, being controlled by criminals, and the citizens, we are the people who are being abused by the situation and the scenarios. America has the arrogance to be in decline and to turn around and attempt to tax the whole world to pay our bills. And the rest of the world, this is your time. That is why the resistance is now, the awakening is now, because this is the time for the rest of the world for us to figure out whether you are soft or not. Because will you just say, okay, we'll pay your bills? Okay, we'll take that tariff? Or will you stand? Will the and if your governments fold, this is to the citizens of the world. Because you see, my mission is not only to make America righteous, but to make the world righteous. My mission is that we understand that the power is always in the people. The awakening is with the people. You see, this is the people's time. If your governments do not serve you, if your governments are not doing what they're supposed to be, then I say to the people of Europe, the people of America, the people of Africa, the people of Russia, the people all over the world, if your governments are not serving you, then it is time for the people to change the government. Let us look at America. The government is not our friend. Again, society today, let us realize the government is not your friend. The Democrats are not your friends, and the Republicans are not your friends. I promise you, both of those sides are getting paid by lobbyists. I promise you, both of those sides, Republicans and Democrats, Senate and Congress, House of Reps, I promise you, they're all getting paid by lobbyists. I promise you, they're all getting paid by big business. I promise you, they're all getting paid by big pharma. I promise you, they're all trading stocks. I promise you, they all have insider trade tips, which is why you will never hear one of them say, Kamala Harris didn't say anything about it, Trump didn't say nothing about it, Barack didn't say nothing about it, Biden didn't say nothing about it. None of these people said anything to you about raising the minimum wage. Never said anything about raising the minimum wage. Never said anything about adjusting the pay rates for the cost of living, because both of those sides get paid whether they are Democrats or whether they are Republicans. You see, these people do not truly represent your interests, but you represent them every day running around talking about you're a Democrat or a Republican. And as a result of that, I say to myself right now, maybe Elon is right. Maybe it is time for another political party in America. I don't know about the America Party. Maybe it's time for a Cummins Man Party. Maybe it's a time for a People's Party. Maybe it is time for people to represent you who truly have your values and who truly have your beliefs. Maybe it's time for people to represent you as a citizen who believe that you should actually only have to work one job and be able to support your family. Maybe you should have somebody represent you who believes that within the past 20 years, you probably should have had an adjustment or a pay increase to minimum wage. And the problem with the society that we live in right now is that everybody that you elected in the Senate, whether they are Republican or Democrat, everybody that you elected in the House of Representatives, whether they're Republican or Democrat, and everybody that you elected the president, none of them have your interest at heart when it comes down to increasing the minimum wage. And as a result of none of them caring about increasing the minimum wage because they're getting paid, they don't care if you get paid. All of them should be fired. Everybody who is in Congress right now, whether they're in the Senate or in the House, they should all be fired because none of them represent your interests. And yet, the mentality that we have is so sick, okay? It is so sick that we will allow ourselves to be abused and show up wearing a Trump 2028 hat tomorrow. You will allow yourself to be abused and show up tomorrow with a blue t-shirt on that says never Trumper. Okay, you will do all of those things because you love living in your misery as long as you get to live in your misery with your tribe. And it is designed in America. This system is designed for the rich to stay rich, for the poor to stay poor. And yet, there has been a movement in New York that is going to shake up this country a whole lot because of that one word. You see, one thing that I promise you, Republicans, Democrats, all these people that are bought and paid for, they never ever want to hear you say, utter, or think about the word socialism. They think that socialism is the most disgusting word in the world. Because you see, socialism would not allow all these billionaires to be running around America and the majority of the population be dirt poor. You see, socialism would not allow that. And that is why they consider it to be a dirty word. You know, when the first Putin Ukraine situation came out, the world was bashing Putin, not realizing that Ukraine was a wolf in sheep's clothing. Ukraine is playing itself as though it is a victim, and yet it is a victim, but it is also a proprietor and an entrepreneur of terrorism on the African continent. So I feel no pain and no sorrow for someone who is creating terrorism in someone else's homeland when they are crying about their homeland being under attack. Then, if you're concerned about your homeland being under attack, you probably shouldn't sponsor and pay for other people's homelands being destabilized and being under attack because we understand that you just work for someone else in the West America, that you just work for somewhere else and you're their patsy, so you do their dirty work. And so as a result, you see, I think about something profound that Putin said. Vladimir Putin said that he attempted to work with America. He said he attempted to follow the rules with America. He said he attempted to be on the same side of America. You see, Vladimir Putin said, but the problem was, he said, all of the immoral stuff and illegal stuff that America told him he couldn't do, all of the crimes that America told him he could not commit, all of the values and laws that America told him he had to follow and could not disregard, that he sat back and he watched America break every rule that they gave to him and break every rule that they gave to him and still attempt to appear to be righteous. That is our story. That is the truly American story. And I will explain to you why. Because you see, we are such a sick society that we believe that we are in a righteous nation because we feel that way. And it is a lie that we have within ourselves. For we must realize that number one in the world in terrorism is the United States of America. Number one in the world in destabilization is the United States of America. Number one in the world in spy and interference and election interference is the United States of America. Number one in the world in how to torture people is the United States of America. Because you see, slavery and colonialism, they didn't just die. You see, America exported it. We shipped that off for someone else to do it. And everything that they do, whether it is terrorism, destabilization, spying and interference, and torture, you see, America taught them how to do it. And they learned from the best. They created it. They created it. Because you see, what actually happened is the European mentality, the West mentality, the American mentality. You see, what happened is it essentially started with uh, the white people. The white people. And so the white people, they fought each other once they got tired of fighting and destroying and distracting and killing each other. Then they, in turn, visited this plague upon the rest of the world. Europe and the West and America, nothing that they have was earned. Everything that they got from killing, they got from robbing, they got from raping, they got from pillaging, they got from stealing, and they got from plundering other people's property. And that is just a fact of the way things are. So if we're going to have a conversation, let us have an American conversation that begins with, you see, America never created anything. America never discovered anything. Everything America got, they took. And that is who we are. Takers, not givers. Not saving people, destroyers. And yet, we as a society have an arrogance about America that we feel as though it is inevitable, but we fail to understand that now the rest of the world is not the prey. For you see, we have a government who is preying on its own citizens, which is why I say to us that the government is not your friend. The government is not on our side. The government is going to do to regular citizens what it is doing to immigrants. That time is going to come for you. And we must understand where we live at and where we are today. You see, the power is truly in the people. But the power is only in the people when the people unite and they use the power. You know that you are being sold a bill of goods that is no good. We know that the government is as fake as could be. We know that the stock market is fake. We know that cryptocurrency, that's a way for the rich to stay rich and for them to control the monetary system. Stock market is not real. The money itself, the dollar, I often question the thought process of the world for you to have a country that you know has no integrity. Because anybody who sits back and watches America, the things they say versus the things they do, you could tell that our integrity is in deep decline as far as the rest of the world is concerned. And yet you give a people with no integrity plates and the right to print their own money whenever they feel like it. Who would do that? And yet the rest of the world will sit back and pay for it. They'll allow America to print all this fake money, and then they will pay for it. And so I say to the people, the awakening is now, the resistance is now, because you see, we must realize something, that it is only considered a world war. It is only considered a, a, a huge situation, World War III, when the white people are fighting. Sudan been at war. DRC been at war. Multiple wars in Africa. Multiple wars all over the world. But it's only considered a world war when the white people are fighting. I say to my people, Americans, citizens of the world, let us make America righteous. Let us make the world righteous. The resistance is now, the awakening is now. You see, we have to move past the barriers that you think that we have. Move past the barriers of Democrat, Republican. Move past the barriers of race. Move past the barriers of class and status. And move to the barrier where, move to the part of the world where we realize you have more in common than more that separates you. Realize that the government is not just working against you, it is working against us all. Realize that the only people who are going to be happy about the way that the government treats us at this point in time is those of us who are in the 1 to 10%. Maybe you guys make six figures. If that's the case, then, God bless you. You don't have to worry about this situation, this scenario. But for those of you who do not, the awakening is now. The resistance is now. You see, the time is now for the people to stand together and put the power back into the people. Because if you do not, the things that are to come, the life that is ahead of us, will be nothing like what you have been used to in the United States of America. And so, with that being said, I pray that God blesses. I pray that God keeps you. Please like, share, and subscribe. Tune in to the new and the true media. This is God's holy word. If you share the know, then the show will grow. And if you share the know, then the word will go. Please tune into our sessions that we have for our Real Pastor Talk. We also have teaching sessions, which are daily messages, and we have sermons. So please tune into all those. Check those out for me if you do not mind. All your super chats, superstar stickers, sponsorships, and donations, they all go to furthering the gospel. So support us because there is a definite need for new and true media in the world. With that being said, may God bless you. May God keep you.